our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of our daily debate. I'm Ahis Rabia. In today's edition, we are going to talk about the AI and how Egypt is taking a very serious approach in developing this very important domain. But first, we'll start with this top story where President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed on Tuesday that a ceasefire deal on Gaza must be fully implemented with its 3 phases: the hostage exchange and the entry of humanitarian aid into the besieged Strip in order to end the catastrophic situation in the enclave. Speaking during a phone call with Denmark Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, President al-Sisi and Gaza reconstruction must begin immediately to make the habitable and without the relocation of its inhabitants, and in a way that guarantees preserving of the rights of the Gazan people. President Sisi and Frederiksen also confirmed on the importance of preserving the Palestinian rights to live on their land and not forcibly being displaced. They further stressed the significance of holding a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital according to the 4th of June 1967 borders, being the only guarantee to achieve a just, comprehensive and permanent peace, as well as realizing the targeted stability and economic prosperity. For his part, presidential spokesman Ambassador Mohammed Shinawi said the two sides reviewed a number of regional issues of mutual interest, especially with Denmark, starting with the non-permanent membership in the United Nations Security Council. He noted that they discussed the situation in Lebanon, Syria and Sudan, confirming on the importance of settling crises in these through peaceful means, in addition to exerting relentless efforts to attain sustainability and realizing the safety of the people. As the situation in Bab el-Mandab Strait, they stressed the significance of continuing efforts aimed at ending threats and attacks that are targeting commercial ships and consequences on the international trade movement in the Red Sea, as well as the income of the Suez Canal, in addition to its impact on giant navigation companies. The spokesman added that the phone call tackled as well means of enhancing bilateral ties and all axes of the strategic partnership between Egypt and Denmark, notably in the fields of economy, investment and clean renewable energy. This comes as Egypt is keen to become a center of producing and exporting green hydrogen, thanks to the big prospects of potentials that the country has in this vital field. And to shed more light on this very important call, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Mohammed Abdel Halim, our political analyst. Dr. Abdel Halim, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thanks.
Doctor, how do you see the importance of the relations binding Egypt and Denmark, and the importance of such phone call between President Sisi and the Danish Prime Minister?
Right. We have got indeed a very good relation and firm tie actually with Denmark, the Egyptian side, with the Danish side that has got its deep roots actually through a long period of age, and the fact remains that that sort of very much firm tie was to be consolidated and confirmed. And today's phone call on the part of Her Excellency Prime Minister, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, with His Own Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, in a sort of a phone call that discussed and examined a large number of details, on both national and international levels, concerning the confirmation of the importance of finding outcomes, and of establishing, a large number of details of bilateral ties, of things of mutual concern, particularly after His Own Excellency's last visit, during last December, state visit, so to speak, that had been constituted by His Own Excellency, Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, to Denmark, in addition to discussing and examining a large number of dimensions of topics of strategic partnership actually between the two countries, particularly in fields of economy, of investment, as much as clean energy in the meantime, and renewable energy in much the same way, with a clear, indication of representing and of, underlining the source of the very much mutual strong ties that are to be confirmed day after day between both parties. In addition to the deep interest of the Egyptian presidency, actually, to establish what you might call an international center actually for producing and for exporting the green hydrogen and the clean energy, actually, a sort of a standpoint, sort of a step that has been integrated by it during the course of the last year. And much the same way, given the fact that, the great potentialities and the possibilities, very much massive ones that are to be owned by the Egyptian state, particularly in that particular respect. Well, I think that Mr. Fredriksson, the Danish Prime Minister, is very much in the meantime confirming and representing the very much strong ties that would connect, her own country side by side with the Egyptian presidential, relations and the bilateral ties between the two countries, confirming, the deep interest of her own country, actually, of fortifying, of establishing the sense of cooperation and the participation with the Egyptian side, either in the bilateral tie on the, as much as on the international level in the meantime, concerning what you might call the both regional and international cases and problems of joint interest, actually, particularly with the very beginning of the, what you might call the non-permanent partnership and non-permanent membership of the UN Security Council starting from January 2025, and its own chairmanship, actually, of the European Union with the second half of the January of 2025. Well, I think in the meantime that the phone call is very much witnessing a great deal of bilateral, ties of mutual identification of both cases and visions of a large number of cases, either regional or international, actually, of joint interest, headed by, the cases in Gaza Strip and the sense of deterioration, the cat, actually a sort of a case in which Mr. President, His Own Excellency, Mr. President Al-Tahatisi, side by side with Mrs. Mr. Fredriksson, would confirm that there should be a complete sense of consensus of opinion and cooperation with the view of reaching to a perpetual ceasefire. Consummating the three stages of the stoppage of the ceasefire outside, as much as the exchanging of the captives, as much as the hostage, actually, and facilitating the, the entrance of human and humanitarian aid, actually, to Gaza Strip with the view of, stopping the sort of the catastrophic human situation, actually, of which almost all the Gaza Strip citizens would go through and pass through in the meantime. Again, there was a great deal of, interest between both sides, to tackle, actually, the sense of the reconstruction of Gaza Strip again, of revitalizing and rehabilitating the life in there in a way that would make the Strip what you might call a viable region, actually, for almost all the citizens, without any sense of relocation, without clearance of any single individual sort of Palestinian citizens, actually, in a way that would, preserve their own simple rights and their own potentialities of living on their own indigenous land. In much of the same way, there was, a great deal of interest to establish the Palestinian state in the borderlines of the 4th of June 1967, headed by Eastern Jerusalem. The sort of thing that His Excellency Mr. President Al-Tahatisi would reiteratively, repeat now and again, any single individual sort of conference, actually, considering this sort of establishment of the Palestinian state is the sure guarantee, actually, and perhaps the sole guarantee, I would say, for reaching to a permanent peace in the region, achieving in the meantime stability, sense of community, as well as economic interest, actually, for almost all concerned. Again, I think that both sides would agree on, pacifying the situation in Lebanon, in Syria, as much as putting an end for the struggle that has taken place in Sudan since quite more than a couple of years. And there was a great deal of confirmation in the meantime on the importance and, of the necessity of pacifying the tussles in the through tackling the peaceful routes and negotiative steps, actually, without military interference or any military action.
Yes.
And in time, stabilizing and underlining the importance of exert an agreed deal of efforts actually for achieving the stability and security and safety of almost all the citizens at that particular hotspot region, I would say.
Yes.
Again, well, I think there was a great deal of interest of discussing and of examining the situation of Bab el-Mandab Bay. I mean, a sort of a discussion of which there was a confirmation and a great deal of necessity of reaching and of continuing the great deal of effort and exert, and I would say, a great deal of effort for stopping the threats and the menaces and the attacks actually, that would target the commercial vessels actually, in the light of, the great deal of damages and demolitions that did occur at that particular part of the world, and in the meantime ensuring, a safe world trade at that particular zone, particularly we as the Egyptian states who had been badly influenced, particularly in the revenues of the Suez Canal, that would be minimized and diminished to a greater extent owing to the threatening voices and the sudden attacks actually on that area. In addition to the, the sort of the bad impact that it would leave actually, the chaotic experiences in that particular part of the Red Sea and of the Bab el-Mandab on the navigation, the maritime, companies at that particular part of the world.
Yes. Yes, indeed, Dr. Mohammed Abdel Halim, our political analyst. Thank you so much, sir, for your very precious input. And moving on to our topic of debate for tonight, which is President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi underscored the significance of the second edition of the National AI Strategy 2025-2030, marking the continuation of Egypt's ambitious journey towards building a digital society. More details in the following story.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi underscored the significance of the second edition of the National AI Strategy 2025-2030, marking the continuation of Egypt's ambitious journey towards building a digital society that embraces the most advanced global technologies. President al-Sisi stated that Egypt lives in an era where AI is at the heart of global development, leaving its mark on every aspect of life and unlocking unparalleled opportunities for sustainable progress and growth. As the pace of advancements in this technology accelerates, he said that AI has become imperative that Egypt fully realizes its vast potential to shape a bright future for the nation. The President highlighted that the second edition builds upon the foundation laid by the launch of the first National AI Strategy in May 2021, a moment when Egypt embarked on its journey to explore and harness AI capabilities. This included integrating AI tools into education, enhancing professional development, and fostering robust international partnerships. President al-Sisi underlined that the state remains steadfast in its pursuit of excellence in this transformative field, adding that the state aims to do and solidify Egypt's position as a leader in AI within the Middle East and Africa. In addition, the President stated that AI's true values lies in its ability to improve the quality of life and enrich human experiences, adding that Egypt's ultimate objective is to empower citizens, equipping future generations with the skills to harness modern technology to serve society and fulfill aspirations for the future. The head of state declared that Egypt will continue to prioritize investments in skill development and capacity building, cultivating AI professionals who meet the highest international standards. He further expressed his aspiration to transform key sectors such as healthcare, education and agriculture, thereby enhancing the quality of life of Egyptians by adopting AI technologies. He further asserted that Egypt was committed to developing robust national frameworks for data governance, ensuring its safe and effective use, reiterating that this would support innovation, strengthen the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and create opportunities for startups whilst attracting investments to build a thriving AI ecosystem. President Sisi stressed that the country must ensure that AI applications are developed responsibly and ethically in alignment with human values and global standards.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, and to shed more light on the importance of the AI and the importance given by the state for this very important domain. We are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by Dr. Wael Hossam, our AI pioneer and HR and digital transformation expert. Thank you so much, sir, for being our guest for today.
Hello, Mahan. Thank you so much for bringing up such a critical topic. Actually, it's a super critical one.
Indeed. Dr. Hossam, indeed, the AI became more and more of great importance to every aspect of our lives today. How do you see the AI being a replaceable necessity and a key tool in our lives today?
Well, actually, I will not use my words. I will use the words of the godfathers of AI in the world. They are warning us that every single thing in life is going to be changed. It's the new like revolution in the life, the way we know. Like if we understand about the Industrial Revolution, how it changed the way people lived.
Yes.
Now the AI is going to change every single aspect of life as we know it. If we are speaking about economy, if we're speaking about business, if we are speaking about medicine, if we're speaking about agriculture, education, our daily lives, everything is going to be changed. And actually, I would invite everyone to pay more attention to such important topic, to go with the call for upskilling and reskilling about AI, its uses, how it's used in life. We all are going to need it.
If we talked about the AI and how it could have an impact on the economy, the multinational companies, the investment, to what extent these domains could be affected by the development and the very rapid evolution of the artificial intelligence?
Well, this is a great question, actually, to start with. I call it, let's welcome the leadership in AI era. Everything is going to be changed when it comes to leadership. Leadership styles, leadership tasks, leadership scopes. Let me invite you and our audience, of course, to think with us. I don't want it to be like one-sided discussion. Let's have this question. You're a leader in your team and you manage, the science says, average from 4 to 6 people. These people are going to use AI these days so that their efficiency are going to rise up. On your day-to-day management, you're going to distribute tasks on them. You're going to ask them for some task to do. In old days, they used to do it in like 6 hours, 8 hours. Now with the use of AI, how long is it going to take? It's going to take like half an hour. So they are going to get back to you as a leader and give you the task you asked for in like fraction of the time. What is your role then? You're going to be, as a leader, the bottleneck. If you're not at this level of skill to multifunction and solve problems and be critical in your thinking and delegate more, this is going to be to make you the bottleneck in the organization. So this is the first we need to think of on the leadership level. Actually, we find that now we have a new term of leadership. It's called the digital leadership. The leadership as we knew like for the past 50 years, now
is changing.
It is changing. It is transforming. The leaders now, they need to have different aspects on their leadership styles, their tasks, their responsibilities, their knowledge. They're going to be squeezed to update. and I repeat this, squeeze to update. If they are not going to update it, they are going to hinder the growth of their organizations. And then we understand the stakeholders and the stockholders, how are they going to deal with whomever hinders the growth of the organization.
Yes. Sir, it is the establishment actually of a comprehensive AI strategy system of great significance to the country's future development and its competitiveness in the fields of business as well as in the field of management as well.
True. Well, let me tell you the recent numbers about this. The surveys say that we have 97, like nearly 100 million jobs are going to rise on demand. While we to rise in demand, right, yes. While we have 85 million jobs are going to decline in demand. What does this mean? It means that we have a surplus in job demand. Yet, we need to understand what jobs are going to decline. Whatever clerical, whatever tasking thing, like if we're going to say accountants, if we're going to say administration, if we're going to say data entry, unfortunately, regular teachers, whomever on the basic level of doing a task is going to suffer with the coming era of AI. How can we see this? Let me give you this example. For a few years now, we have seen this commercial ad. I will not say which company, but they used to tell us that you can open an account in a bank, you can whatever transfer your money, you can do whatever digitally.
Yes.
We've seen this ad like 5 years back. Now it's real, it's here. We can sit in front of a camera, and this camera is going to guide us through the process of having our whatever procedures in the bank. You can replicate this with whatever task, like tellers, like clerks, like the guys we see in the train stations. Whatever takes like simple tasks is going to be changed. What are the jobs in demand? Whatever related to technology is on the rise, especially data science and data scientists. And I can see for the past like 5-6 years, we are having this increase in the number of universities and education entities focusing on the data science and the technology and so on. It is on the rise, and actually we are doing a good job in this. Yet, I urge everyone in the business realm to jump in. If we can notice that countries abroad, the West, they are the leaders of the AI, right?
Of course.
Our governments are the bodies who are taking care of this?
No.
No, they are private sectors. And this is why I urge everyone here to focus. This is why I urge entrepreneurs to rise up. I urge young people to unite and collaborate and come up with new ideas. Actually, I believe that we have brilliant people. By numbers, I can prove it that we have brilliant people here.
You mean here by young entrepreneurs who are working in that field of AI, or how do you see the figures nowadays, Doctor?
Well, actually, we have a rise in the number of people who work on the tech field, and the downside of this is that they are very clever, that they have an extra demand on them. They are paid well, and of course they are. We live in what's called a talent war. It's a global thing.
Yes.
So organizations worldwide hunt for the talented people, and actually, this is the case we live in. That our tech people are so much in demand by other countries. This will, of course, encourage us to do more, to educate people more, to have more entities. And actually, it's an open invitation for investors to invest in this field. The demand is going to rise, so that you're going to find more students want to study these fields, so that you have to invest in this and you're going to gain more.
Of course. Sir, to what extent the unveiling of the second edition of the National AI Strategy 2025-2030 has marked the continuation of Egypt's path towards building a digital society that is embracing the most advanced and global technologies, and how do you see our movement so far towards this direction?
Well, speaking the truth, I can see that we're doing great efforts. I can see that we're moving on the right direction. Yet, I invite everyone to contribute. It's not only a government effort.
Indeed.
Of course, it's widely recognized and globally recognized, but we still need to, I will coin this terminology, it's labor marketing. We need to work on the fact of marketing our skills. We have brilliant skills. We have some good tech people. We have, of course, good investors and good mechanisms to encourage and raise the work in technology and AI and digital transformation. We have infrastructure. We have everything needed to take an advanced place globally. So that I would encourage everyone to join forces and join the government on this path. If we can collaborate together, I bet we can hold more conferences regarding the technology, the AI. We can hold more debates about how life is going to change, about how management going to need. Let me tell you this. Recently, I was in this conference about the new leadership in AI era. Of course, you find that our people are ready to learn. The thing is, when they know the path, when they find someone who gives the guidance and the right scientific thing about it, they join, and of course, they do miracles. I've seen this myself. And actually, let me ask you this, or bring you to this other corner or angle of the story.
Yes.
What if you're a company and doing good job, and then a competitor went in with an advanced AI team and tools? Who's going to win the competition?
Of course, the AI team.
Of course, the company with the AI team is going to win the competition. This is why it's a fierce competition here. This is why we need to work on every single function in our organization. Like, for example, marketing, accounting, finance, HR is the first place. And I call it HR in the AI era. It's enormously needed. It's going to change. I bet that for the last 20 to 30 years, HR function was changing and evolving. Now, it has a more significant role in changing the organization. We can imagine together, of course, how HR people are needed to take care of the people of the organization to evolve, to improve. Let me bring another corner of this. What about upskilling and reskilling? We all heard these terminologies recently. People need to upskill and reskill. What is upskilling? Let me tell you that the first time this terminology was coined, it was 2018, 5 years back, in the World Economic Forum. They encourage people to, and organizations of course, to work on upskilling their workforce to cope with the coming AI. Okay? So, now, I will ask you this question. We used to know and merely admit that young people are more of tech people for the last 10 years.
It's very true.
It's true, of course, but it's changing now. Let me
how is that is happening? Because as you have kindly mentioned, now the younger generation, maybe they are more adapted, more alert about the development of the AI and the development of the information technology maybe than the older generation. So how do you see this in a different way,
Okay.
Dr. Hossam?
Let me tell you this from the practice. Of course, I told you that originally I come to AI from the HR point, from the
Yes.
HR realm. This is why I know how people think. We used to say that younger people are more tech-oriented people.
Yes.
They are called cyber citizens. Right. What is the great difference between AI and any other technology we ever known? In our mobile, we used to ask ourselves, what is the capacity of the database? How many functions it can do? What is the battery efficiency? Now, the difference with AI that it amplifies human capability. It actually merges with your capability as a person, as a professional, and it amplifies it. If you are an accountant, you're going to be a super accountant. If you are a manager, you're going to be a super manager. And let's stop here for a while. If the competition between the younger generations and, like, let's say a 40 years old one, who's more experienced?
Of course, the older generation.
And if they both use the AI, who's going to win?
The more experience of
The more experience. Now we see how AI is changing the world. It's no more the younger generation is in control. The opportunity here is very large for older people. Recently, as we all know, we started to listen and hear to whenever you hit the 35 years old, you're old. Whenever you hit the 40 years old, actually you're going to suffer to find a job or something. Now it's changing, because if you have experience and you can use the AI right, you're going to be a treasure for organizations and the economy.
So we are seeing here some shifts and changes even in the patterns of HR regarding the experience and how they can use the AI with the experience in order to have a better employee here.
Of course, everything is going to change in HR. Let me give you this example. And with this example, I'm going to tell you the new trend of AI. Now, AI has, in 2025, this new trend of agentic AI, agents, AI agents. What does these agents do? If I have a recruitment specialist in my company, and I would ask him to hire a very good accounting manager, what is this recruitment specialist going to do? He's going to revise the job descriptions, the organization chart, and he's going to check the needs of the organization and develop a decent job description, then go to the interview and interview good calibers till he finds the one who suits the organization. So what if I have an AI agent that I tell it, hire me a good caliber, and it does this in like 1 day. The normal recruitment specialist is going to have like 1 month. Now the AI agent is going to do all these small tasks together and do the job in 1 day. So the opportunity and the challenge here is for people to rise up, to raise their level of value to the organization.
Yes, indeed. And now we'll be taking this report about artificial intelligence technologies, which are playing a crucial role in improving the performance of management accountant in Egypt. Let's watch this report.
Artificial intelligence technologies are playing a crucial role in improving the performance of management's digital transformation. Management accountants need to develop their skills in line with the era of artificial intelligence and the shift towards the adoption and application of artificial intelligence technology in management accounting. And the results confirm that the technology will make a breakthrough in improving the function of management accounting and its role in organizations, and help management accountants in performing the job tasks required of them. Artificial intelligence can play an effective role in bringing about radical transformations in both accounting and auditing, and achieve many advantages in the form of raising efficiency and improving productivity and accuracy of information. There's a big need for technological readiness through the training of workers in the field of accounting and auditing and development of their skills to support their ability to benefit from artificial intelligence systems and employ them to serve the achievement of sustainable development goals. There's a noticeable impact of environmental management accounting tools on reducing costs in industrial companies, and management accounting methods have a strong, positive, statistically significant relationship to create competitive advantages in the industrial companies, as they have a statistically significant effect on reducing risks in industrial companies. The adoption and use of management accounting technologies in industrial companies depends on gender, age, job grades, and years of experience. The use of big data and artificial intelligence in the field of management has increased by up to 75%, and technologies and big data have significantly influenced practices and methods of companies, and management accounting has become more important under such technologies. Technological in the contemporary business environment, by relying on descriptive and analytical approaches using survey data on the nature of management accounting practices and applications under artificial intelligence and big data. AI interacts and integrates with other technologies and directly affects corporate accounting practices and the digital transformation of accounting activities and practices.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, and back to our dear guest in the studio, Dr. Wael Hossam. Dr. Wael, how has the adoption of the promoted digital techniques and strategies like the Digital Egypt and Egypt Vision 2030 is helping to enhance the innovation and the technology in various economic and technological aspects in Egypt?
Well, actually, I can see this through the multiple initiatives done by the concerned ministries. We see it every day, actually. We see initiatives that invite young people to learn about the technology and the use and the data and everything. We've seen these universities rising up. Actually, recently, we've seen this on the level of students. I liked a lot this TV show who addresses Gen Z, the young people.
Yes.
Actually, it's marvelous. And I believe that these types of initiatives accumulated will help us all to understand and gather our strength and actually, let's say, assemble together to move forward. The thing is here is that I think we need international collaboration on the field of digital transformation. How can this be? In my mind, that we can see economic growth across the Middle East. And economic growth naturally requires people, requires human resources to help it grow. We have this capacity. We have, of course, the youngest population in the Middle East. And of course, we have this mindset of speed learning. Egyptians are speed learners.
Yes.
So that it's an opportunity. We need to take care of it. We need actually to nurture it. What I will ask the government is to increase publicity and marketing about what they do. This is something actually, as much as we see it, but if we look at it from the private sector point of view,
Yes.
We find that the competition is not there. The government...
You mean between the government and the private sector concerning these domains?
Yes. The thing is, the government needs to market more, to invite more young people and from every field, and the private sector needs to enter this realm strongly, because investment in this field will bring a lot of wealth actually to the economy. For example, the data centers, AI and digital transformation are built on data. how many data centers we have, private sector. We'll find that only the government is taking care of this, while the private sector is not that much into this area. Let me ask this one more question. How many training programs did the private sector conduct to the leadership teams and management teams regarding the digital transformation? The global surveys say that the first and the top challenge for all organizations across the globe, not only in Egypt, two things. One, the top management support. It's the top and the bigger hindrance for digital transformation. Do you believe it? And the second is the knowledge of the management teams about digital transformation, if you ever believe it. The management teams, the people who are actually concerned and responsible for the change, they are not well aware in the private sector about.
How that could change, Dr. Wael?
Well, we need to increase the training programs about this. Actually, I've shown some efforts recently, and I've seen a very good response towards it. People are interested in knowing about the new practices of management, and of course, they are developing. And you can measure it in the performance in the organizations, and it happens, you know, like this. I'll give you an example. We all know the term ERP system. It's technological software. It's the software that plans the enterprise resources. Actually, these projects, when we go to contract on these projects, the contract says like the project is going to take 6 months. In real life, it takes like 2 years. Why that? Because lack of knowledge of the management teams to implement the projects of the ERP system, the digital transformation projects. This tells us that private sector needs to focus more on this critical set of skills in the era that we're living. It's the era of AI. Now, no one can ever ignore the digital transformation. So we need to increase this. And I can see the opportunity that we can be the hub of this. We have great scientists, we have great people who are already experts in the fields of digital transformation and the management. And of course, we can be the hub of this. We can be the center of excellence of this.
In order to achieve being a hub for AI in the region, Dr. Hossam, how that could be achieved, and what incentives we could give to people here and to investors if they are interested in that domain, or how to attract more investors to work in that domain, and to attract more maybe young entrepreneurs, young mentalities to join in order to reach that dream?
A brilliant question. Let me ask you this question, and the audience, of course. I believe we all noticed that since day one that we had this AI software, it was paid. On the contrary of the other, we used to say, Google it, okay? It was free. But since very beginning of the AI, it was paid. Why is that? We need to think of this, because it means that this thing, it gives us extra power. And with being accustomed to it, if I got accustomed to using AI in my daily job, my efficiency like increases by 90%.
Of course.
I will pay for it. If I lose it, I'll become like the hindrance of my job. So that you're going to find that everyone uses AI will pay for it. Is this an enough incentive for investors to invest? Of course it is.
Yes.
Of course it is. Come on, guys. On the other side, what does it mean to increase efficiency? What does it mean that my people will do their job in half the time? It means that my ROI of the investment is going to increase, is going to double, actually. What does it mean if I have a superb marketing function? It means that I will reach larger markets.
Of course.
actually, it's so beneficial for the economy. And we all know that businessmen are so concerned about profit.
Of course, it's
This
logic.
is it. Guys, let's gather, let's understand it, let's upskill and reskill. We are going to reap a lot. Surveys say that till 2030, the global economy is going to increase by $19 trillion. Once again, $19 trillion, 19,000 billion dollars. Guys, who's going to reap this?
Of course.
The guys who have the capacity, the guys who have the talent, the guys who have the market. So it's a great opportunity. We need to jump in, we need to harness it. Otherwise,
we'll be left behind.
This is
Indeed, Dr. Wael Hossam, our AI pioneer and HR and digital transformation expert, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. Thank you so much for being our guest for this evening, and our dear viewers. With that, we come to the end of this edition of the Daily Debate. I'm Hossam. Thanks for watching.